The cement truck is here and there's no going back now. From building the pad and building the Crawlspace walls, every helping hand, every shovel of concrete, this is the start of our Yukon home. From building the pad to the Crawlspace walls and setting the water tank, things are finally taking shape. It's all happening. Welcome to Wild and Unrooted.
Already a third of the way done. Alright, so basically what I'm doing is we had the hay wire tied to hold the rebar up, and now that the rebar is covered in concrete, we're getting rid of all the hay wire so that when we stand up our walls on these 2x4s, it's a nice, perfect, flat surface. Yeah, the concrete, even though it's still wet, it's not gonna, the rebar is not gonna move now. And then when you give this a jiggle, the air bubbles come out, and that's just to make the concrete nice and smooth and stop any discrepancies in the flat surface when we start working. We just got to make sure we don't have anything impeding on the concrete surface so that when we stand our walls, everything's nice and flat.
Huge thank you to all the helping hands we had that day. Mike, Tyrell, Richard, and Richard's kids for showing up and working so hard. Because of them, this whole pour went really smooth with no hiccups at all. Now we let the concrete dry, and just like that, we're officially moving on to Crawlspace walls.
Plan of action for today is to finish the plates and start building the walls. Damn it. Well, the battery died, but all the plates are complete. I'm gonna drag the generator over, and I'm gonna use the chop saw for this. I think it'll be a lot faster than skill saw. We're gonna go 4-foot crawl space minus the thickness of the plate, so inch and a half, inch and a half, inch and a half. So 43 and a half is the stud size. 43 and a half. That leaves 9 inches of waste. Wonder what we can do with that. Got the feeling in your bones. Make you feel right at home. Does it well. Keep me dancing till I'm dead. So a trick to break these metal bands, take your hammer, slide it in here, and just pull. I need 34 pony wall studs, I guess you'd call them. I'm not too sure exactly the name of what these walls are for the crawl space, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments. Right now I'm building an L box, and basically what that's for is so that when I stand this wall that I'm currently building up, I have something to nail to the wall that butts to it. So basically the stud's gonna sit like this, This wall plate goes out that way for the current wall that we're building. Then the other wall mounts to this, and then if I need to do poly and insulation, I replace the staple. So when you guys do studs, you want to check the crown, and you always want the crown to be out so that when you stand the wall, you're increasing the overall space in the building all the time. This helps for finishing, and the old carpenter who taught me told me that, and I've always lived by it. And it's a minimum of 3 nails when you're doing a 2x6 wall. And then of course, because we are building these walls and they're going to be technically underground, you got to use galvanized 3-inch nails. Pretty cool. Good job.
I got even more.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Ready? You did it! So Shelby's gonna take the kids for a bit of a hike while I get some alone time on this house. So right now I nailed the bottom plate to the 2x4s PWF that I put in the concrete. That keeps it so that the wall, we'll call it the wall, is perfectly straight along the chalk line. And then you line up this back side here along with this chalk line, because you know that this is perfectly square. So then when you lay your plywood on, it's perfectly square and you can stand it up and you know you're square. So before I put plywood on this one, I'm gonna have to put some insulation in there, because once the plywood's on there, I won't be able to put any insulation in here, and I want that to make sure that everything's insulated correctly. So, and then ready for sheathing. And then we're gonna switch the nails from 3 1/4 to 2 3/8 for the plywood. We don't need 3-inch nails for plywood. So back when I was a carpenter, I was told that the main reason you do a top plate so that if your trusses or your joists don't land perfectly on top of the stud, it's okay. But if you were not going to put a top plate, I was told that you had to have your trusses and joists land right exactly on the stud, so the weight is transferred evenly. But when you put a top plate, you could be off a bit, which is what I was told. So whether it's true, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Probably don't need galvanized nails for this part of the build, just because it is above ground. But as opposed to switching back and forth, I'm just going to spend the extra 10 bucks per case and just use galvanized for the top plate. And then after the crawl space is done, then I'll be switching to a regular nail. So for this section here, you want to measure 5.5 inches back so that this top plate for this wall can tie into this one. So you measure 5.5, and then from there you measure the rest of the top plate, and that is 90 1/4. Time to switch it up to plywood. Now we gotta grab some staples and some sill gasket, nail the sill gasket on the bottom of the crawl space wall, and time to stand it up. All right, so here's the sill gasket. Take this, and then just staple her on.
Brendan went to stand up the first crawl space wall, but it turned out to be a little bit too heavy to do solo. Luckily, he had family on the way to lend a hand. And his cousin Tyler, who you might remember from the last video, came to help cut some studs. With a few extra hands on deck, things started to move a whole lot faster.
So I apologize for the generator noise, guys, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to stick frame this little section here. And stick frame means basically I'm gonna build the wall standing up as opposed to building it laying down like I've been doing the rest of the building. And the reason for that is because I don't have enough room to lay it flat, and because this wall buds into here, I can't lay it in that direction. So we're just gonna stick frame this one quick, and then this one will be done too. Hello and good morning. Last night I finished a little bit late, so I wasn't able to kind of do a closing shot or closing video. I don't know what you want to call it, but anyways, I'm here to tell you guys what I got finished yesterday. So we got almost all the exterior walls completely framed up. There's a few things that we do have to do that I couldn't do last night just because it was getting too dark, and because I need to move some things around. So one of the main things why I couldn't finish this wall is because that pad over there is for the water tank, and I still need to put the water tank in the pad. So let's do that right now.
If you want to see even more of our journey, come join us over at Patreon. That's where we share extra photos, updates, and moments you won't find here on YouTube or Instagram. Every bit of your support helps keeps us building, filming, and chasing this dream out here in the Yukon. Thank you so much for being here with us, especially John, and we'll see you on the next one.
Any of you guys built your own house? Let me know in the comments. Kind of an interesting thing to know, actually. How many people actually build their own house?